Welcome to Squatch-D where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to Squatchdtv for today's date. The bird clock goes off. For today's date, May 16th, 2025. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective, Steve Kulls, along with my co-host right down there, Mr. Chris Bennett. Hello, Chris.
Steve, how you doing, man?
I am doing well. Have you got the hatches battened down?
We'll see what happens. For anybody that doesn't know, about 2 minutes before the show started, I got a tornado warning notice on my phone. So so if you see me looking up intently, what I'm actually looking at is the radar for where Chris lives, and I notice that red danger zone is starting to break apart, and it looks like it. If your city is right here, Chris, it looks like it's going to go. I hope so.
It's pretty close. Looks pretty thin.
That would be nice. Yeah. But we'll see what happens here, and the show could get interesting. I swear, if I have to duck for cover, I will leave the camera going so you guys can watch my house be destroyed.
No, that's not even funny.
I'll be in the bathtub, okay?
I'm sure you'll lose internet before anything really happens.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Oh, Mike, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to call you back yesterday. I got home and I promptly took a nap and fell asleep for a few hours. So, because of my crazy hours that I sleep.
There's no place. I'll remember that, Grant. Thanks, man. Let's see if I can find me some ruby slippers to wear.
He's got enough Totos running around.
Yes, we have multiple Totos.
Anyway, we got a great show lined up for you tonight, and man, all I can say is, the audacity of this guy. I know Chris took a look at the notes earlier.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's good to get this out in the open and talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely, and the reasons why too. But anywho, let's do the roll call real quick, and we'll get down to business because we only have an hour to cover a lot of material tonight.
Yeah. Oh, let me scroll up. Yeah, the chat's pretty busy tonight.
Chat is
it's hopping. Yeah,
that's right. Yep. And thank you for all who showed up for the really bad Bigfoot movie. Boy, that was really bad. But
I enjoyed that one. I thought that was pretty good. It
was better than the last one.
Oh, okay. It was a little hokey, but yeah, the first one we watched. Oh my gosh!
Just remember our antagonist of the picture.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Eyebrows there.
Mr. The Brows. Yeah, they should have called him Mr. Highbrow.
Oh man.
But boy, we got a real good stinker for next month. So far, the curse of Bigfoot right now still retains the championship.
Oh yes, I guarantee.
We want to see who can knock it off every week. That's a good idea. Every week we'll see if we can knock off the champion.
Well, I think we started off with the champion. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat that one.
I don't know.
It's really bad. We watched that thing for an hour and a half, and then it was like a 5-second climax. That's it. The action scene. 5 seconds. It's over. End of the movie. The end. Thanks.
Come on, you got to admit I think the funniest part of the whole night was the cow. Wait a minute, that's not a female cow.
Oh no. Well,
anyway,
low budget. They couldn't even afford a real milk cow. They had to use a beef cow that was with calf. So,
It was a bull.
It was no, it was not. It was a cow.
In my mind, that was a bull, and that wasn't milk.
It was a cow. Oh man!
And now everybody's like, "What is he talking about?" They didn't see the movie. Now you're going to have to go and watch it.
Yeah, if you guys haven't watched the latest bad Bigfoot movie night, go check it out. It's
pretty hysterical.
It's not actually that bad. I thought it's not that bad.
We did catch one sequence. One sequence filmed out of order.
Yeah, and the whole movie is kind of hokey, but hey, low budget. Made for the drive-ins, 70s drive-ins, it's okay. But back to our roll call. We got silent.
Okay, first in tonight was Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Good to see you. And Relic coming in, who's going to catch the replay.
Catch you on the replay, bud. Good to see you.
And then we got Grant Rasha in the house. Pat Collins. Hello, Pat. Jay Charlotte. What's up, my man?
Jay.
I know why you're here tonight. Karen Fisher, good to see you. Walter Kroll, hello. Bristol, what's going on? Sandra Piper, how are you? Scott B, what's going on? Right. BFFG, Bigfoot Florida guy, good to see you. Welcome back. And we got, of course, yes, of course, who else do we have that hasn't? Ron Meldrum, there's Ron Meldrum.
Ron?
Hello, good to see you, Ron. Gary Johnson Sr., hello. Mike Stedden, hey, what's up, Mike? We were talking to you yesterday. We got to catch up a little more over the weekend. And by the way, tomorrow I will be doing a 4-hour event over at the Kinderhook Memorial Library in Kinderhook, New York. Myself and Bruce Hallenbeck will be there amongst a few others, some of the paranormal folks. And Bruce and I will be talking about the Kinderhook creature and Bigfoot, et cetera, et cetera.
Didn't Bruce author Monster in the North Woods?
He was one of the co-authors. Yes, he was. So it's always good. It's going to be good to see him. And guess what? Now with the nifty new GoPro, we'll be shooting some scenes from it too. We have some video, come back with some video of that. And maybe I can get Bruce to sit down for a brief interview too.
Good.
So, Angel Nolan, what's going on? Angel Nolan in the house. The Beatron, what's happening? Jen, what's going on? Driving home right now. I'm sure she'll catch us when she gets back in after she takes Baron for his little jaunt. Who else we got going here? Sasquatch Watch Radio. Billy, what's going on, my man?
Good to see you, man.
We said Scott B. Robert Denduven. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. The Timberline Camp. Hey, what's happening?
Timberline.
Good to see Timberline. Son T-Squatch.
Yeah, Son T-Squatch. Okay, that's a new one. Welcome.
Has anyone informed Steve that the sun exists, or does he have a case of the Dracula? Well, that's just the lighting in here.
Studio
believe it or
light.
not. Yeah, believe it or not, I am quite a tan person.
The studio lights. If we tried using makeup, but he looked too orange.
Been spending my weekends in Mar-a-Lago. No.
Yeah, those studio lights are really bright, but without them, it is kind of dark. So
if there is some way I can,
I'm surprised Steve doesn't wear shades.
That'll be next.
But Steve is cool. He's so cool. He wears shades, and even at night, because when you're cool, the sun shines on you 24 hours a day.
No, that doesn't really help, does it?
But the lighting.
Them a little bit more. Yeah, let's try that. Oh. See, the problem is if I try to.
Oh, you look good. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, hang on.
Don't worry.
I don't want the light to collapse. But yeah, I noticed that I do have. I am very white in the video, of course. That way you can't see my complexion.
Well, I have on one of those makeup lights, so it's kind of yellow looking.
What if I go back here? Well, I'm still my.
Now
there's so much glare coming off the dome here.
now I'm
there, it's better.
Okay, looks like I'm doing a radar update here. Looks like the storm is getting closer. We're getting some yellow. So, okay.
The good news is the red looks like it's starting to break up a little bit. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of.
Yeah. We'll find out.
I don't see any circular motion, so that's
If
good.
I hear a freight train in the front yard, I'll know.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear it too.
Oh no, Mick!
What?
Mick's Yorkie has doggy problems. Oh no!
Poop everywhere.
I don't know if you can give him the pink Pepto-Bismol stuff or not. I don't know.
Poop everywhere. Poop.
Anyway, that is the roll call for tonight. So, let's get on with tonight's show. What do you think, Chris?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So let me start off by saying tonight we're diving into a tale of deception, denial, and downright gaslighting within the Bigfoot research community. You know, we all strive to find that one piece of evidence that might just prove what we've been chasing for decades. But unfortunately, there's still a few folks out there who would find something to swipe online and fabricate a story, then conduct real research. And tonight, we've got a prime example of that. Recently, one particular individual made some bold claims on social media, showcasing what they called authentic Bigfoot evidence. He confidently declared it wasn't CGI, wasn't Photoshop, or AI. Essentially, it was the real deal. But then, like clockwork, the community stepped in. Turns out the supposed Bigfoot was nothing more than a still frame from a small town monsters documentary recreation. Yep, he got caught red-handed by members of our very own audience. But instead of admitting the mistake and moving on, what did he do? He doubled down. He blamed the filmmakers, claiming that if it's a fake, it's small town monsters' fault for using realistic creations.
Oh, yeah.
Classic gaslighting, folks. Blaming others for your own mistake just to make a poor attempt at saving face. He also had shifted the narrative, claiming to be the victim. Suddenly he wasn't the hoaxer. He was the poor, misled researcher who was duped by the filmmakers. This type of manipulation is the very thing that hurts legitimate research and gives skeptics more ammunition. And in the end, he pulled the post, backpedaled, and disappeared into the safe space, like the hoax never happened. But we saw it, and more importantly, we called it out. And even more importantly, we screenshot it. Tonight, we're breaking down what happened and exactly what this kind of behavior says about someone's mindset and why gaslighting tactics just don't fly in serious Bigfoot research. Here we go. So anyway, so this gentleman here posts this. This was actually, I got this off because the actual post had been pulled by the time I started the screenshot. There are screenshots that exist of it. I just got one, but I'm not going to put it up right now. But it's basically, well, let me see if I can't get it to show up, because I want to show you his. There we go. Well, I'm going to show you this. So this is one of the posts. Now, his information has been wiped out of here. We don't want no copyright, not necessarily copyright, but we don't want no privacy concerns or anything like that for doxing him on YouTube. So we've removed that. It's going to be easy enough to find. All you need to do is Google the snapshots and you'll find it. And what he did was he took one screen cap and he lightened it, and that's what he got. And then he put down authentic evidence. By the way, he didn't, not once did he ever say this was some small town monsters when he posted this. Just authentic evidence. This is not CGI, AI, Photoshop. Bigfoot revealed by his screen name. So he's trying to say, Bigfoot revealed by him. Well, look at me, look at me. I'd like to know what Bigfoot Research Group Incorporated is exactly, because that's his tag there, his first tag. So what has he got in mind? What is he trying to do? There are some other motives involved in this besides being a pathetic individual. Chris is going to go try to find it. You're not.
I am.
Well, you're not going to find. I mean, you're not going to find it
Oh.
because this guy is not legit. He's just another hokey. You know, Sans another group who claimed they were a non-profit group. You know, that group from Colorado there, you know, the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah.
That claimed they were a non-profit organization when they're no such thing.
Yeah. This must be something he was thinking about starting up because there's nothing online. Yeah.
So anyway, this is the post. So he gets called out by people. Let me make sure we're on the right. Let me go back to the slideshow.
Mhm.
All right. So the hoaxing gaslighter turns around and says, after he's exposed by, well, I'm going to name you guys if you don't mind, Jay Charlotte and Nikki Cologne. I said, hey, you know, this is from Small Town Monsters. And he says, I screenshot all supposed Bigfoot videos. Ha 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 ha. To see if they're fakes. If they're fakes, it's content creators of Small Town Monsters. Maybe they shouldn't use fake backgrounds. But now we know. They are fakers, don't we? Well, thanks for sharing. Wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, you know, that's
Well, apparently, wait. He screenshots them. He screenshots the videos to see if they're fakes. But wait a minute, dude. You're the one who posted, this is authentic. So you suck. If that's your job, if your job is screenshotting to see if they're fakes, you suck. You totally suck. Right? Sounds like a guy from Menlo Park, California. You know, claims to be the greatest, you know, Bigfoot hunter of all time, the real deal, and yet he keeps getting hoaxed. And you're going to see a common thread like this with this guy as well. Like this is just a cyber biscardi. Anyway, so he gaslights everybody and says, you know, oh, thanks for sharing.
yeah.
Small Town, and now he writes another post. Small Town Monsters is claiming responsibility for this hoax. Claimed it's a prop from their show. I only screenshot live video. If it's fake, that falls on the content creators of the show. No. I'm glad you guys took responsibility for this scam. Wait. You're the one putting the scam out there.
Yeah.
Please don't do it again. People want to see special content, no fake stuff. This makes only investigators look phony. No, brother, you're the one who makes people look phony. Because if I remember right, he's the one who posted this is authentic evidence, not CGI, AI, or Photoshop, and even said that you revealed this. Right?
He got this from the Small Town Monsters documentary.
One of the documentaries, correct.
Yeah.
And now he screenshots it, lightens it up, says he found out that, and now he's blaming them. So,
Okay.
then, an audience member, Jay, so you post it to the group and claimed it was 100% real, and when you're called on it, somehow it's someone else's fault. I thought this group was all about respect. This is disrespectful on every level. And of course, I get it, and like within a few hours after I write that, the whole thing disappears.
Yeah.
It's a recreation. Small Town Monsters is not responsible for a hoax. The responsibility for the hoax is the person who said it was something other than what it was, putting a phony narrative on it. Now, who might that be?
Yeah. Oh. Well, how's he going to spin this now?
Well, that's how he spun it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we took it all down. Okay.
Henry BFR said, I had my first hater a couple of weeks ago, called me a liar, so block and buy.
Well, he's taking a screenshot from a recreation in a Bigfoot documentary video and then pawning it off as the real deal. Didn't he watch? He didn't watch the documentary or something? Or?
Well, not only is he a hoaxer, but he's a liar too, a very bad liar.
Well,
because you notice the story changes between the two postings.
Yeah, it really.
First, he says, I clip them to see if they're real.
Yeah.
And then he says, well, I clip the content. If it's not real, it's on them. Well, it's on you. You're the one who said you're the one who. Number one, you're the one who says if they're fake or real. And number two, if you didn't know they were from. See, bottom line is this, dude. And if you're out there watching, because I did post this show in that group that he's been posting these things in, you see, your game is up, Chowderhead. We think if you're out there, your game is up, Chowderhead, because we know what you're doing. You're snipping these things, trying to gaslight people, saying, "Oh, look at the real Bigfoot. Get a name for yourself, or get views, or whatever." You've been caught. Deal with it.
Oh, man. Well, if if he had posted it and asked a question, this is from Small Town Monsters documentary.
But that's
a real creature.
That's not how any of these cats work.
No.
I mean, I've been working on NVTV now, a program about NVTV. They're another one that makes a lot of claims, and they've just spawned like there's dozens, and there's a couple we know. The Oyster Group from out west, and and then we got NVTV, which it's kind of funny because they feed off of each other, those two, and they post all this crap content for views, and don't do any investigation, and then they claim they're the greatest investigators in the flipping world.
Yeah, Henry, that's probably about what it is. Yeah, clicks, send money. Yeah.
So let's pop on to the next slide. And so now he posts something like this. He posts a picture with pareidolia all over, and he adds circles to the photos after he enhances them. Oh, yeah. And of course, people were ragging on him pretty good about this picture too, which is kind of good because people now are wise to his crap. And of course, when I wrote, wasn't this the guy that tried to hoax us all with scream tapes and Small Town Monsters, claiming they weren't CGI or Photoshop? Well, at least the red circles may be original, even though it looks like it was from someone else's material. So,
was he saying that pine bough back there was a Bigfoot?
No, there's some blobs in there. It's hard to see. The pictures aren't worth blowing up.
Yeah, I got you.
I think it's pronounced Polydocchio. Paranoia. Polydocchio.
Oh, man.
Bristol says we should start a petition demanding Small Town Monsters to start using real Sasquatches in their recreations. Seth, I know you're out there watching, and Alex too. You sure we can't do that? I'm sure we can wrangle up a real Sasquatch from somewhere.
Yes. I mean, they may work for blackberries. I don't know if they'll work for apples and oranges, but they'll work for blackberries.
Speaking of which, I'll be seeing Seth and the crew next month.
Oh, good. Great.
So,
but to clip a documentary.
Roker. At least take his own red circles and he swiped those two. I really.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's. Surely he's made his own red circles. Let's give it credit. Yeah. I don't know. That's pretty good, though. Yeah.
At that point, I was kind of shocked he showed his face again. Oh my God!
Well, I can understand.
Roker, you got me. Some of those, on that one.
Some of those guys they post the clicky stuff, and I can see, that happens a lot, and they're using Bigfoot as something for clicky bait, and they want to make their title exciting, I guess, but
yep,
that's a little bit dishonest to me. I think it's a little dishonest. Well, it's a lot dishonest. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. There's no excuse. But let's take a look at why he did this. So let's think about this. This individual depicted slides that demonstrate a hallmark of gaslighting, right? Shifting the blame. When confronted with the evidence of that the Bigfoot image was from a small town monsters production, the person immediately deflects responsibility. They attempt to redirect the blame onto small town monsters itself, implying that the filmmakers are at fault for creating a fake that they, the poster, merely shared. This is the type of behavior that is indicative of a cognitive dissonance management strategy where the individual refutes to accept fault and instead manipulates reality to maintain their own credibility.
There you go. It's like the cookie jar. It's like the cookie jar. And the master kid, the gaslighting kid says, the parents says, "Did you eat all the cookies?" Well, no, I didn't eat no cookies. Did you eat all the cookies from the cookie jar because the cookie jar is empty? No, I didn't eat all the cookies. You ate all the cookies. Matter of fact, I remember seeing you eat the cookies, and that's the reason why you're so fat, because you ate all the cookies. And so the parents thinking, wait a minute, did I eat all the cookies?
The dog ate the cookies.
Oh, it's this master manipulation of gaslighting, and they're masters at it. Some of them, the guys that can do it and do it well, and they start getting you to question your own beliefs. Well, did I?
Ron Melder made a perfect suggestion there. I want to pop that up there. Oh. Ron says that, so if I used AI to create some Bigfoot images and told people they were real, when I get caught, can I blame AI? No, obviously. But you can. But that's his mentality.
You can blame AI. You can say, look, I was checking this to see if it was real or not. Thanks, guys, for letting me know that AI is just hoaxing me.
And I will say this. There is a good degree of narcissism in this guy by just having the audacity to say that. He's obviously has narcissistic tendencies. That's why we're keeping him anonymous, because I can talk. If we keep him anonymous, I can talk all night about him, and people can find out on their own who he is.
No need to bring up nobody's name or anything like that. No. But
yep,
yeah, it's great.
So, again, narcissistic defense mechanisms: inability to admit fault, despite clear evidence presented by other members of the community and your own statements. The person continues to deny any wrongdoing. This persistence reflects a narcissistic tendency where admitting fault would damage their perceived self-image as a credible researcher or authority. Narcissistic individuals often struggle with accountability, especially when their actions threaten their reputation. So, I voted for Ross Roseway, love.
Well, that's acceptable because that's antique. We don't do politics, but the antique says okay.
That's right. Yeah. And there's people in this audience that who's Ross Perot?
Yeah. For any new guys that come in tonight, we don't ever talk about politics or religion or anything here, so we just keep it on.
Ray Roger goes, Sunday Squatch, where's Stockdale?
Oh man.
So projection and redirection. Instead of owning up to using documentary still as supposed evidence, the individual projects their mistake onto the filmmakers, accusing STM of misleading the public. This is classic case of projection, where one attributes their own faults to others. It allows them to feel less responsible while maintaining illusion of victimhood.
Yes, small town monsters ate the cookies.
That's right.
That's why they're so fat. No. They're not fat. Okay, no. I'm fat.
And and that's the other thing. He never thought anybody was going to call him out that this was a small town monsters thing, and then he got
mixed comments worth reading. I loved it. Or excuse me, Mike. Sorry, Mike.
That's good. That's good.
How many narcissists does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, but they'll make a documentary about it called "The Light of My Life."
You
Single-handedly save the world from darkness.
You light up my life. You get
That's so funny, and
that's really good. Sharp.
True, yes.
Sharp.
That's a good analogy there.
So, and then we have the desire for validation. The initial post declaring the image as authentic and not CGI reveals a need for community validation. In the Bigfoot research community, presenting evidence can bolster one's status. However, when that evidence is debunked, rather than retract the claim, the person doubles down, suggesting that maintaining social standing is more important than the truth. And that is very true.
Yeah, the honest thing to have done there would have been to say, hey guys, I pulled this from the Small Town Monsters documentary. I mistakenly thought this was a real creature. I did not realize that it was a recreation.
Or just, oops, my bad, would have sufficed.
Yes.
And left it at that. But no, instead he doubles down and starts, trying to act like the victim.
I think there was probably only one person in history that ever made a mistake, that didn't make a mistake. And we're not going to talk about him because we don't talk about religion. But, you can't hold yourself to that standard. Everybody is allowed to have mistakes. You can make a mistake. What you do about it determines what makes you, makes your character and makes the man or person you are inside. If you're wrong, admit it freely.
Everybody will take a fall.
Yes.
It depends how you get up from that fall quantifies you as a person.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Just trying to see.
If you made a mistake, it's no.
And Grant, this was not even clickbait. This was just posted in a Facebook group or a couple of Facebook groups. He's just trying to get attention from himself.
I don't know. I mean, the title on that video, the captioning, that was kind of clicky,
Right, but it wasn't a video. It was just the pictures, and he was posting them on social media, so there was nothing really to click on.
Okay.
Right? So it's not really clickbait. If it was a, click here to see this picture, or click, that is clickbait. A false YouTube video, like saying, oh, we have the latest movie of this, and you click on it, and it's nothing but a title holder.
Yeah. Authentic. This is finally proof of Bigfoot exists, and then you click on the video and open it up, and it's a Patterson Gimlin film. You're watching. Oh man, come on! You've seen this. Oh man,
I'm actually the bourbon man.
But we've all seen those YouTube videos. Of course,
Typo negative, man. Somebody must know my singing, about my singing stuff. That was the band we got compared to, was Typo Negative.
Oh.
Anyway, let's move on. Cycle of gaslighting defense, the lack of critical thinking here. From a forensic and investigative perspective, the individual demonstrates a fundamental lack of critical thinking rather than verifying the origin of the image before claiming it as authentic. They operate on a confirmation bias, accepting anything that fits the desired narrative without scrutiny. This reflects a cognitive bias towards and belief towards perseverance, where the desire for the image to be real overrides the factual analysis. And of course, if you look at the cycle, he wants social approval. He's trying to avoid confrontation. He takes the victim narrative, and he is seeking sympathy from folks. Yeah. Again, cognitive bias in images. Again, here we have the lack of scrutiny, belief, perseverance, and confirmation bias.
What is that down below? Is that a hair dryer with the streamer, party streamer? What is it?
That's a party streamer thing.
Okay. Oh yeah, it makes the thing go round and round. Okay, I got you.
Speaking of things that go round and round, how you doing over there?
We're good. We're good. The red part passed by pretty calmly. I think maybe I missed the
And pretty quickly too, I gotta say.
Yeah. I'm about 1 mile outside of where that little dot says Cave City, so I think it might have just went along the edge there. But we're looking pretty clear. I'm gonna do a recheck here. Oh yeah. We're in the green now, and white, whatever that means. I don't know if it's snowing.
I thought white
now,
it's snowing.
Yeah, I don't know.
This will be out there tomorrow morning. Son of a bitch with a snowblower. I'm out there with the suntan lotion.
Half of Cave City is in the green and the other half is in white for some reason. I don't know. If we have a snowstorm going on. I have to look.
What's the rest of you in blue? Ain't red, white, and blue? Patriotic?
Oh man. But yeah, it looks like the worst part's passed by. But we do have some more stuff coming in. Oh, yeah, there's some nice stuff coming out from the west. So it'll be here after a while. I think the weatherman said while ago means a few minutes earlier, that Kentucky will be in some rough weather till roughly around 11 p.m. Central Time, and it should pass. So,
but how the hell can he tell using the sundials?
I don't know. He's pretty good, No, we have radar and stuff. I think they got one for old surplus World War II something.
And I am not pale. I work out in the sun all day. It's just the light.
Yeah.
I got some bright ass lights in there to make this look bright.
Yeah, I think you're probably getting a tan now as we speak.
It gets warm in here with these lights on.
Speaking of tan, whatever happened to tanning beds?
Oh, they're still around.
At one point, well, around here they're not. I mean, at one point in time, there were tanning beds every 4 or 5 miles.
Well, what it is that now it's the fitness centers that have the tanning beds in them. So like all my gyms had tanning beds. So you want you work out, you want to okay, you got the muscles to look good. Now you want to get a nice tan.
Never been inside a fitness center. Never have.
I have. Used to bang the weights 5 days a week.
That's probably why you're in shape and I've got a big gut. Oh, well, my fitness center was working on the farm, lifting bales of hay. That was my fitness center.
South Boston tanning beds are gang run. Yeah, get in there for 10 minutes or else.
Oh, but they used to.
And there's Nikki. Hello, boy, you have missed. And we've actually credited you too at being one of the people that has called this chum out. Okay. And of course we have the cycle of defensive escalation. Of course, there's a psychological response to avoid admitting fault. The initial story falls apart. Well, actually, the initial story falls apart. The blame is shifted to others involved. Attempt to equalize perceived imbalance, where he's trying to say, I'm just a researcher. These are the guys that are hurting Bigfoot research, not me. I'm trying to prove to you people that these things are real, and these people come out with this fake stuff. And horseshit. Right. Horseshit. Anyway.
I didn't eat the cookies. No.
I didn't eat the cookies. You did, you fat bastard.
Chris ate the cookies. Look at him. You can tell. Oh, man.
All right. Who licked all the cream out of the Oreos?
Ooh, boy. That would be terrible. Oh, God. Reminds me of a friend of mine, the vacuum cleaner salesman. No joke.
Boy, that job sucks.
Yeah. He ate. He was demonstrating a Kirby vacuum cleaner for this old woman, and he was eating peanuts on her coffee table.
I know that was a little late for that sucks joke, but that's okay.
Yeah, she said. He said, "Ma'am," he said, "I'm sorry. Do you mind if I have some more of your peanuts?" He was hungry because he hadn't been selling that many vacuum cleaners. No, you go right ahead. And then he's talking to her, and he would reach and grab another handful of peanuts, and before he knew it, he'd eat the whole bowl. He said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. I apologize. I've eaten all your peanuts." She said, "That's okay. I don't like them anyway. I just like to suck the chocolate off of them." Ooh, yes, yes, yes. I don't like them anyway. I just like to suck the chocolate.
Man.
Chocolate covered peanuts, good stuff. He told that as if it was a true story, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Phew. Oh. I'm going to have to mute out here because I'm going to pour my drink and it's going to be kind of loud.
So how does he respond to being exposed? Instead of addressing the situation and apologize, potentially resolving the conflict, instead he retreats, delete the posts, avoiding any immediate discomfort or further discomfort about this, and then just goes on like nothing ever happened. So what we, and mind you, that, that's typical behavior someone experiencing social dissonance. The discomfort from having their beliefs and actions publicly challenged rather than confront the situation head on or apologize, they retreat, indicative of avoidant coping mechanisms. So the post-hoax justification, again, even after exposure, the individual continues to rationalize, probably to themselves, their actions instead of making a sincere admission of error. This shows a fixed mindset resistant to change or self-reflection. In psychological terms, this behavior aligns with ego defense mechanisms where preserving the self-concept is prioritized over acknowledging mistakes. So.
Well, wait a minute. Let me see that. I love that.
Volcano line, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I love these graphics you're doing. I love this. And Steve is, if you guys didn't know, Steve is creating all these. So it's.
Well, I have some help.
Impressed.
I have some help.
Yes, I understand that, but you're the one.
I got to feed the information into
exactly.
it to make it. Yeah.
But those are cool, nonetheless. Oh, that would be blood type ski, Mick. O pause. That's no, wait a minute. O neg is the universal donor, isn't it? O negative.
True. Yes, it is.
Positive? I can't remember.
Yeah.
One of them's the universal donor.
Right.
I've got B pause with some sort of weird factor in it, and where it makes me, I can't take anybody's blood, but maybe my own.
Well, they gotta have B positive. If you're B positive, then they gotta have B positive.
Yeah. There's something weird about it.
You can't give somebody B negative blood that's B positive because that would cause a very bad reaction. But O blood, O positive can be given to anybody. They're the universal donor.
Yeah. So, moral of the story is, don't hoax
when caught, when doing something stupid, if you make a mistake, man up, admit it, and move on. Because I'll tell you what, being somebody that admits their own mistakes is a far greater thing than somebody that's either right all the time or claims to be right all the time.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. And, I do that even when I'm making, which I hadn't made one in a long time, but when I was doing the engine videos and I make a mistake, I could have very cleverly edited that out, but I don't do that. I leave my mistakes in there because everybody's human. And
Right. And of course, I didn't add any names on anything today because,
No,
again, I'm
no.
trying to keep everybody private,
Right.
including the nut job. I don't need him getting harassed. He's been getting harassed by me, and well, not harassed, but he's been getting called out by me enough.
Well,
So, I mean, if you think about it, you know, this guy, who knows, you know, we can look at, I don't know how long his history is or anything like that. See if we can find,
well, you know, on a positive note, giving him
sure is.
giving him, well, no, I wouldn't say that, no. But giving him the benefit of the doubt. You know, I always try to look at the positive side. It's possible that he was fooled into thinking that this was a actual video of a creature during that documentary rather than a recreation.
So my point being this is here's my counter argument to that.
Mm-hmm.
In his original post, he says that this is a real Bigfoot, not CGI, not Photoshop, not AI, authenticated by, you know, himself.
Right.
And that I have an issue with.
Yeah.
Or not authenticated, what was the term? Revealed. Bigfoot revealed by himself.
Yes.
Doesn't credit Small Town Monsters. In fact, he probably doesn't even know it's from Small Town Monsters until he gets called out about it.
Right.
So then he turns around and blames them rather than taking the blame himself, saying, "Oh, my bad, I thought they were real," and walk back his comments. Instead, he doubles down. He blames them. Well, they shouldn't be doing this. People like me, good, honest researchers like myself, there's people like that hurt us, right?
Yeah.
I've never heard such madness in my life. So I think the term nut job is very appropriate for this guy because this is probably the most audacious thing I have ever heard anybody say. And Jay was quite right. Jay Charlotte was quite right in saying that he called it egregious. I call it audacious. The audacity of this guy to say something like that. Who the flip is this guy? He hasn't been around. He doesn't even use his real name on his page. But we can find that out. We can probably find out who he really is. But he doesn't use his real. He doesn't. He uses his. I said we can find out. I didn't say we let everybody know what it is publicly.
Right.
But to see what this guy's history is, if he's got a or whatever.
Oh, man.
That's right. My God, that is such an old reference. I think about only about 8% of the people will get this. I get it.
Anybody listening on the podcast, Mike Stetton says this guy would give Ralph Cramden a run for his money when he was practicing for the $99,000 question.
So to me, I don't think there's any wiggle room for this guy anymore. Had he turned around and said, "Oh, geez, what you were saying," I just thought I got excited. I thought this was the real thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks for putting me in the right direction. I apologize for getting so overexcited and move on. Yeah. All would have been forgiven, I think. But instead, he turns around and puts the blame on somebody else. Yeah, and now his real intentions to me start coming through.
Yeah.
Right. Because we have seen this behavior from people like who? The cat from Menlo Park, California.
The number one, yeah. He's the number one.
Yeah.
He's a good gaslighter.
Yeah, he does stuff like that all the time.
Get me a Snapple.
This is something he would definitely...
Nick, this is not a well-known person in the community or anything. He's just somebody that does social media. Not a name you would have.
Yeah, he's shown up in groups using kind of a half real name, half pseudonym.
Excuse me.
Like something like Donnie Darko, except for he goes by another screen name, like Bob the Builder or something like that. No, that's not any of the screen names, but he's using half a real name and half of a fictional name to identify himself. So he's not a name that anybody would know or particularly pay attention to, because let's face it, that anybody in the Bigfoot community, with the exception of maybe Jed White, who is better known as Thinker Thunker, who goes by that name, but everybody else is pretty much known even by their screen names. We all know the names behind them for the most part, but the only one that's really not too well known is Thinker Thunker.
Oh.
But we do know his real name, and it is out there in the public.
He's trying to build his brand there, I think, Mickey. Yep.
Yeah, and that's exactly probably what he's doing, is building his brand by the tags on it, like Bigfoot Research Incorporated, Bigfoot Research Inc., hashtag Bigfoot Research Inc. Sounds like he's trying to start something or build something. I can do a deep dive on his personal page if I wanted to, if I'm not blocked yet. My guess is that, there's not much going on there.
Yeah.
Except more of this, pareidolia nonsense and etc.
Yeah, you got to remember too, this is the internet, so you can't just put something out there and say, I dare you to find what documentary this came from, because you never know.
There's another guy, that's right, the Steve Cotherin hoax, where he sends this picture and he goes, I dare you to find this on any documentary. And he goes on to say, and I'm going, and I put it on the computer, and this is a picture off a television set. I can tell by the pixels on it. You can actually see the pixels. Yeah. So, Chris and I are digging for days, and finally Chris calls me up and says, I got it. Yeah. And I came off it. There was a screen cap from a documentary. And of course, when we confront this guy about it, of course, the social cognitive dissonance goes on, and he tries to blame his dead partner who used to do podcasts with, Jan Allen. Now, I knew Jan Allen for quite a while. He's a straight up guy. And I'm thinking, no, bullshit. And then the guy tries to send me basically photoshopped items that were trying to prove that it was Jan Allen that sent it, but it wasn't. They were photoshopped items.
That's really bad.
We proved that too. That's how much this guy's cognitive dissonance was.
That was really bad. The dead guy ate the cookies in this case.
The dead guy ate the cookies. We can blame him. He's dead. He's got no. What are you going to do? Defame a bad guy? What are you going to do? Call the dead guy a hoaxer? Why, you are? Oh, I'm not calling him a hoaxer. Well, you just said, that. So we deal with these dipshits all the time, and of course, item number one is when I started doing a search for his picture, the first page that pops up was searching for Bigfoot, and this guy claims not to have been friends with Biscardi for a long time, and he dissociated with him for a while. And what does he do? He's just another friggin' plant is all he is. And he's trying to get information about me, probably passing it off. And this is, SFBI's modus operandi. If you don't think they don't hold a grudge or try to get after somebody, look at their website. They have Squatch Detective Exposed. And it's a picture of me being out there in the field with them when I was doing my undercover op many, like 14, 15 years ago, for Christ's sake. Right? Oh, I'm exposed. I mean, that says it all right there. There's nothing there. Except me. And then they make up, and then they gaslight by saying, well, Steve is called the team liars. No, Steve didn't call the team liars. I call the fat man in charge the liar.
As evidenced.
As evidenced.
With receipts, yes.
Plenty of them. But so we see this crap all the time. But that just goes to show you how devious and dubious they are across the. Of course, they have the most to lose. They've lost it already. I mean, they're worth nothing. So they have a shitty website. I've done the numbers on their websites. I've done the numbers on their channels. I've done the number on their radio shows. They claim who they claim to be the longest running Bigfoot podcast. Well, you took 7 years off. That doesn't count.
They don't know it, but when they're stock,
let's see. Well, they took 10 years off from 2008 to 2018.
when their stock prices dropped down to nothing, Steve and I were thinking about buying them for meanness.
Should have bought them.
Oh, that would have been bad, but that's not kind. And Mr. Rogers said, "Be kind." But what comes around goes around, and I believe in karma, and I'm fairly sure that karma did come around.
Yep, sure did. So, but anyway, Chris, it is 9:56. Get ready to take us out because I got a lot of stuff to do for tomorrow. I got to be on the road by like 9:30 tomorrow morning. Ugh.
Let me check the radar real quick. Good. Looks like I am still alive. Made it through the show. No tornado carried me away. For everybody else out there that's been hanging out with us on this Friday night, thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate you. If you hadn't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helps us out with the algorithm. Smash that thumbs up button. If you don't like the show, you can smash the thumbs down. It all helps with the algorithm one way or another. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We know we've got the best audience we could ever hope for. And you guys prove it because you're busting guys like this hoaxer dude here. So again, thank you. Steve and I know we would not have a show without you guys. And I mean it sincerely from my heart. Thank you for joining us. Catch you for Sunday.
And folks, I want to thank you guys too. You are the greatest audience in the world. We couldn't be doing what we do without you. And like I said, we got so much going forward. Again, I'll be at the Kinderhook Memorial Library tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. along with Bruce Hallenbeck, co-author of Monsters of the Northwood, and of course the author of The Kinderhook Creature. So great time we're going to have tomorrow for a few hours. And as for me, I am so appreciative of you guys being here. We do have the greatest audience in the world, and until next time, folks, kudos and salutations. Oh, I mean,
you'll be blowing the bike horn next.
You like how I played that? Oh no, that's not what I meant. But anyway, on behalf of me and everybody else, we want to wish everybody a happy, good Saturday. And we'll see everybody at the other end of the weekend here, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we put on another show of some sort. And again, remember to subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. And on the way out, give us a like. We appreciate it. Everybody, have a great day.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member. And it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.